नमस्ते, हंगरी सेलर में आप सबका स्वागत। आज हमारे साथ है श्री प्रवीण सबनीस। और ये क्या है, कैसे हैं, अब आपको आगे पता ही चल ही जाएगा, लेकिन मैं इतना ही बता दूं, ये ट्रेनर है। ठीक है, इतना याद रखिए और आगे का एपिसोड देखिए। धन्यवाद।
And what you are going to do, what you're going to divide is a mango. So between the three of you, later, three of you, five of you, start discussing. Your time starts now. 60 seconds only. Start discussing how you will divide it among the number of people you are.
6 pieces of 9.
How we will be divided? How we will divide the mango?
See, total mango, make it side by pieces, make it 2 into 4, left with 1. One side you can give, one side will be with the main this thing will like that.
Divide 4, 5 it will become, no?
That is what. Then one with that one we have to make half. That can be done.
Let's say you chop the mango 4 sides, bottom side 6, bottom.
All right,
side.
time up. Only one of you keep standing
Now,
from
top
each
you
team.
won't
Only
get.
one of you who's going to tell your decision.
Top you won't get in the mango.
The rest can sit.
altogether.
Only one stands. So you sit. Let them sit. So I can just see you. Yes. For her. Why for her? Huh? Okay, she likes it.
Somebody doesn't want it, so we can divide as per the needs.
So rest get equal.
Yeah.
And one more thing I just wanted to highlight. Juice. You wanted to make a juice first. We have decided.
No, one decision. Thank you, thank you. I can sit down. Yes.
We are divided into 5 parts, which we have 5 into the letters that
Okay, so you're dividing only the letters, not the mango.
we are dividing the mangoes. So we'll make a 5 part and each one will be valued as 1 M.
No, I wanted to know how 5 parts because I didn't say a banana or a apple. The mango has there is a seed in it.
Yeah, the seed and the 4 slices.
Okay, so who gets the seed?
The
Huh? Anybody. Okay, dangerous word, but sit down. I'll tell you why.
Okay, we were lucky that we were just 2 of us, so we thought of dividing it into halves of the cheeks each one of us gets. And the seed portion, we will cut it into 4 parts and then the seed we will plant.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Yes?
So yeah, we are going to cut it with 2 parts. So the seed part will be remain with me and the other 2 parts will be given to them.
Yeah. 6 of you. You'll know 5 I think when you'll
Yeah.
discuss.
Yeah, tell.
Tell.
कोई तो बोलो.
मैं पकड़.
पहले आप.
Total leaving the seed both will make first 2, then 4 into 4. So remaining side with the seed side we can give to other 2 people.
Fine. Now, my question. You all have come out with solutions. Different solutions. Not the same. And that's great. But when I asked you to discuss, did you discuss needs and wants? Who needs the mango? Who wants the mango? I heard something like she said she wants the seed. I heard some wants. But did you discuss needs? So that's one point. If you don't discuss needs and wants, what's the point? Suppose nobody needs the mango and nobody wants the mango, what are you dividing? So that I'm starting with that. But let's just see, what's more important? Needs or wants? Needs are things you require. Wants are things you desire. Needs? Yeah? Everybody? Yes? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. One want. Any more wants? Wants? 2 wants? Any more wants? Okay, the 2 of you will get some food to eat, the rest will get atta. Because it will fulfill your need. Won't it? Will you eat it? No, you'll say, I want this to be converted into a bread or a roti or a chapati. I want. And this is something I'm starting off with. Yes, wants are the higher needs. Okay, I'm not trying to say needs are pointless, but human beings, when driven by needs, are at a lower level of being what we were told in school, that we were animals. We are a social animal, we are a thinking animal, and we realized that we were animals with another word attached to it. So you go down to what is called that animal instinct, but in wants, you become a human being. So the human being wants that atta to be converted into something that they would like to eat. So if a human being is eating from a dustbin, he's trying to feed a need, not a want. He doesn't want it. And if this is true, if wants are important, that is what will come into what I am trying to talk of, diversity. Alright? I will put in one line before you, a phrase called ready to play. Alright? And it comes from a longer set of 3, which says lead, follow, or ready to play. In a football team, who is lead? I could have said any sports team, I'm saying football team because I think Goans would know about football. Forward? No. Captain is the leader. I'm saying who's lead. I'm talking of the action. These are 3 actions. Like Les spoke about action shoes, right? So use your action shoes to think.
Coach?
No. Who has the ball? The goalkeeper could have the ball. And he is waiting to pass it, and everyone else is doing something else. It could be a forward. It could be anybody who has the ball. At that time, you're lead. When the ball goes away from you, you're not lead. What should you be? What should you be? Follow. Right? So if the goalkeeper has the ball, the remaining players, wherever they are positioned, they're looking at the goalkeeper. They're following. They're seeing signals. Which way is passing? He may be, like looking this way and he's going to pass this way. But they know he's passing because they have to observe him. Right? They also have certain code language that the team knows. They have to follow it. Who is ready to play in a football team? Who is ready to play? No, not all. The one sitting on the bench. But they're ready to play. They are on their age. The coach says, you go, they run. Right? They are ready. Coach will say in the last 2 minutes, you go in. And he'll say, last 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes. Next match I will be. Will they say that? No. And this is going to be the biggest position you are in. A lot of captains of sports teams have been noticed of how they behave sitting on the bench. In organizations, you are noticed when the project is not yours and how you are ready. It's like, I'll give you an example. There is a project and somebody in charge and other people in the team, and different people are given different roles, so they take lead. And sometimes, maybe, someone needs to be replaced. And you'll replace them with someone who appears to be ready to play. Right? So suppose it's a writing job, you'll replace with a person who seems very clearly interested and competent and skilled in writing. That person may never have done it. Now, why I'm saying all this is because I want all of you to walk out with me and use this mantra of lead, follow, ready to play. Please come. Come. Come this way. So that you can. Can the table be pushed a little behind? Impossible. This one. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Alright? Yeah, thank you so much. So nice of you. We are standing in a circle. I am the nodal point. So starting and ending. So it starts from my left hand and comes to my right hand. You will stand in a pattern. You will use the mantra lead, follow, or ready to play. How many people can lead at a time?
One.
Good. Correct. How many people can follow? No, as many as can. All will not follow. Right? I think Les mentioned about active listening. Alright? And active listening is where you follow. But there is something called passive listening. You're still listening. You're ready to play. So I want you to stand for a count of 50. You can do this in a count of 40. I want you to do it for a count of 50. You are going to stand as per your first name in the alphabetical order. I don't matter. Okay? I'm just a starting and ending point. So the A's, B's, then in the A's, the second alphabet, letter of the alphabet. Then the third letter of the alphabet. Clear? Samajh gaye? Your time starts now. 1,
All the A's come
2,
here.
There's one very famous line that we used to learn in school about our country. It was called unity in diversity. What does it mean? What's the focus on?
On being together without differences.
Yes, good, well said. Okay. With the differences.
In spite of the differences.
Yeah. No, I'm saying with the differences, not in spite. With. It's like a rainbow. The ray of sunlight passes through a drop of water and breaks into 7 colors. But you wouldn't have the rainbow if the 7 colors were in 7 different directions. They have to be together. Right? They are different colors. They're not the same. But they are together. And that is what diversity is about. Of being together without losing your diversity. That difference from somebody else. So I want you to, realize this. An individual who takes lead on their own are great individuals. They are dynamic, they are enthusiastic, they are ready to step out, step forward, but they could be bad for a team. You know why? Because the team requires to do things together. I'd like to give the example of this week that the Rotary Club of Vasco Port Town is doing. I'd given them the idea. I gave it to 3 Rotary clubs, and all of them, I told them, I complimented them for it, that they have not gone by what I suggested. They used some things, but they came out with new stuff, and they came out with new stuff because they involved the team. If each of the I told it only to the presidents. If each of the presidents had decided to only do things on their own, then they wouldn't have done such a great job. Even a program, like I had given some names for this, but they've got somebody even better. I'd given a very good name, but they got somebody better. They could have just listened to me, but what they did was they listened to their team. And you can listen to your team when you realize that they need to participate, they need to involve. Otherwise, why are you having a team? The last batsman in a cricket team is a bowler, but he's expected to bat. Right? And often we see even wicket keepers bowling. Sometimes to spare their regular bowlers, or sometimes to bring in a breakthrough. So all of them need to know to bowl. All of them need to know to field. Even if they have specific roles, and that's where they brought in lead, follow. Even when you don't have a role, if you are a team person, you'll be ready to play. You may not be given an assignment in the team, yet you'll be recognized as an organizational person, a team person, because you are participating. And for this reason, diversity first starts by realizing that everyone can play a role. Let's just look at the diversity here. Okay, I want each one to step up as per the language. Alright? Kunkni. When I say the next language, if it's not there, you sit down. If it's there, you keep standing.
Just a clarification, what do you mean by the language?
You know the language. Marathi. Hindi. Kannada. Gujarati. Punjabi. Urdu. Bengali. Tamil. I could go on, right? But did you think all these people would be here? And often you'll never know. You'll never know. Because we look like the way we dress. Right? Unless I dress in a particular way, I will not look that way. But you could have, I know a lot of Goan ladies who wear the Gujarati sari. Right? And you'll presume the person is Gujarati. And somebody wears a 9-yard sari, or somebody, I've been to Kerala for a lot of training, and every time you go there, they give you a dhoti. Right? So whenever I get called to certain events and all that, it may not be a Malayali event, but a Malayali is inviting me, I go in a dhoti. Because I have so many of them. I donate many of them to old age homes and all that. But I have at least a couple at home. It's a very nice looking. And some people start talking to me in Malayalam. But what I'm trying to say is, the diversity you will have to find out. It's the biggest mistake to presume all are the same. Now I didn't know, my namesake, I know. He knows Urdu. I'll be fascinated. Next time when I connect, I would like to talk. I would like to understand Urdu, or somebody says like I will definitely. You also stood up for Bengali, so there is one song I know, but I don't know the meaning. So I'll ask him. Maybe he'll help me. Right? It becomes a starting point to realize. Now I'll ask something else. All right? Places where you have traveled to, not languages. Places that you have traveled to. Goa. Yeah, I want everyone to stand up. All right? And then you could sit down if at a particular time you are not. Maharashtra.
Goa travel to or travel from?
No, but you have traveled around Goa also, right? Maharashtra, Karnataka, Pondicherry, Daman, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Malaysia, Australia, France, US, Japan, South Africa, Kenya, and I could go on.
You should have brought Banastari and all.
I'll try that. I'll get a very difficult response. How many of you have been to the top of Dudhsagar waterfall, a place called Kuveshi? 4. How many of you have been to the Grand Islands of Vasco? Few people. How many of you have been to Galjibagh beach? Good. How many of you have been to where Abe Faria's home was? No. Kandoli. Yeah, there is his house there.
Which is his origin?
Huh? No, it's given to an old age home. It's actually written there. Yeah. But it happens. Like you may not have traveled around Goa as much as you may have traveled outside. Because when we go as tourists, we are interested in then seeing everything. Abe Faria's statue is there near the Secretariat. On one side is the first Chief Minister of Goa, on the other side is this guy. So he's obviously an important fellow. Yeah. And there is a bus stop there. And sometimes if I'm free in that area, I'm walking around, I go and ask at the bus stop. There are locals standing at a bus stop. I go and ask them, who is he? Some tell me it's a woman trying to strangulate another woman. Some say it's Donapal. So I say this is not Donapal, this is Punjab. But then I ask tourists, who wear I Love Goa t-shirts. They are the only ones who wear those t-shirts, right? Goans don't wear I Love Goa t-shirts. So the thing is, I ask them, who is he? And they can tell me. Why?
It's a part of their curriculum.
You mean to say all these tourists are very academic, studious persons who study?
Curious to know.
So if you're curious to know, you'll have an answer? Yeah, you will. But you need to do something. You need to do something. Huh? They don't do research, don't worry. I have done a study of many tourists. They don't do too much research.
Observe.
What? You're right. What? The statue is written down there. The local doesn't go to read. The local cares 2 hoots about it. But that if one has to take a selfie with the statue, he should write, no? Selfie with whom? You get it? So when we step outside the comfort zone, we try to notice diversity. You will try out different things. You will talk to people. You will realize different cultures, and you may not notice them in your comfort zone, and that comfort zone is going to be your team. It's beautiful. Diversity is beautiful, and if not acknowledged, it can create issues. Internationally, when they have many different nationalities working in a team, this becomes the most important program. Diversity. Why? When you know who comes from where, who stands how, and what they can do or what they want to do. And that's when you start realizing. So what we were doing is, outside there was a tendency to do it yourself. And do what yourself? What was a team activity. Even if everyone stood in their place, like that till then I counted 118, but just because of 2% it became 223. Is it their fault? So whose fault is it? If it's not their fault, whose fault is it? Everybody. Somebody's fault, and the fault is generally of a process. When you involve people, and when you involve, what Atul was talking about inclusion, but when you involve, you get them to express, to participate. And there is a method for it. It's a very famous method. Not mine. It is there in all academic. For team working, the first step team forming. That is inclusion. Okay? Not the selection of the team, of feeling you're in. The bonding, the ice breaking, whatever. The second step, which I expected here, was team storming. When you take ideas. So you needed somebody to take a lead, a little bit of forming, explain to everybody what it is. Maybe everyone not understood. In the parliament, when a motion is moved, and there is, first it has to be admitted. So there is a process. It requires a proposer, a seconder. Once that is done, the chair restates the motion, because people may not have understood. They need to understand. And you need to be able to restate it in the brief manner without trying to make it complicated. Simple. Right? So everyone needs to know that we need to stand as per our first name in the alphabetical order. If somebody has to tell that, your thumb lead has to do that. That's it. The second has to do storming. I want you to collectively do the storming. What's the best way to do something like this? Stand in a circle. Suppose there were 1,000 people and we were at the stadium, and 1,000 people have to stand as per their names. This chaos would be worse then, because you wouldn't be able to hear each other. So that's why I'm saying 1,000 people. What would you do? What's the best way to do it? Quick.
With the mic. 1% of the mic could arrange.
But no, I'm not asking that. I'm asking what are the ideas you're giving for actually doing it?
First stand, you would do you yourself place it.
1,000 people, you're going to tell that.
All
You say this
A
is
to
A,
G
B,
one
C.
side and then
All right. You know what he's saying? You divide the task into subtasks. If it's from A to Z,
one in charge.
you are saying A to E. Now that's an idea. From F to maybe I. From J to N. From O to Z. You break the task into subtasks. But Isn't it nice when it comes from the team? There's a training program, that we do called simplification, and it's generally asked by corporates who have decided something that they are going to change. And in the program, you have to get the employees to say that. So then it looks like that you are implementing what the employees said. Otherwise, they'll argue with it. People don't argue with their own data. So you make them involved. So storming is a process that needs to happen. Maybe you already have a method. You have a way. You have it. Yet, you say, let's get ideas. And in most teams, there are few people who give ideas, but all are not asked for ideas. So there are methods. Sometimes people are reluctant to speak, so you write your idea. And somebody reads it. Right? It's very easy to read somebody else's idea. In fact, there is a very good, but it's in innovation, so I'm not going to talk of it, but maybe you could try and find out. There is a concept called brain faxing. They used to use fax machines to do it. It was based on a concept that we can identify problems easily, or the root causes, we can tell why. Like, suppose the potholes in Goa, why? Everyone can tell, right? But we may not be able to tell the solution to it. But we can tell solution to somebody else's stated problem. So it uses that concept, but it's basically a brainstorming, team storming activity, brain faxing. Then, based on that, you decide a norm, a plan, team norming, where the same or another lead says that we'll follow this plan. You may have a set of plans. Plan A, we'll try first. If that doesn't work, plan B, plan C. And then you do performing. What you did outside was straight this, performing. You jumped the steps. And that's why you took more time. If you had taken a count of say 5 or 6 for just somebody explaining what it was, and you had taken a count of maybe 20 for storming, a count of maybe less than 10 for norming, you would have performed in hardly a count of 10. Simple. And remember, most of the time in storming, you will get ideas of two types. One, based on experience, and another based on imagination. And both are good. Experience, why? Because it tells you what worked, and imagination because it's new, it's fresh, and it can give you a totally different insight. And allow for that. In storming, don't discuss any idea, only receive it. Minute you're discussing, you're judging it. There is nothing to be done. In fact, for diversity, if you could note down this line, that never be judgmental, be developmental. We do oratory workshops, and then sometimes, you have somebody who come up and speak, and the rest are supposed to give feedback. And I always tell, if it's positive feedback, it's fine. But if it is not, it is critical feedback, you will have to tell how to set it right. If you can't tell that, don't give your feedback. Like imagine you go to a doctor and the doctor is saying you're dying in 2 days. And what should I do? I don't know. I don't know. If the doctor tells you, I don't know. Alright, you go to a doctor and he says, you got cancer. So what should I do now? I don't know. Pray, go home, pray. Write your will. You will say, no, this doctor isn't good. he should be able to guide you. Maybe to another doctor, maybe. But he should be able to guide you, right? Because that part is important. So keep that in mind. Often we, because of our prejudices, because of our biases, we start thinking that somebody cannot participate. I like to give this example a lot. It has a little bit of what Les speaks of innovation. I'd gone to a friend's home, and the couple had gone out for a walk. My friend was the editor of a newspaper, so he had a lot of newspapers in his veranda, and I sat down reading them. And then they came in, and when they asked me, when did you come? I said, some 20 minutes back. So he asked, you'll have a cup of tea? I said, sure. And they went in, and the lady came out again. She said, how did you do it? I said, do what? How did you solve the puzzle? I said, what puzzle? She had brought a puzzle from Mumbai. She had gone to Mumbai and she had brought a puzzle, a wooden puzzle. It was in the box, and she had brought it out. She had brought it for a child who had not yet played with it. So she was trying. The child had gone to, uncle's place or somewhere. So she tried to solve it. She couldn't. So it was lying on the table. So she said, you must have done it. I said, no, I didn't do it, but I'll try again. But I didn't do it. So she called the maid. She asked the maid, anyone else had come? So she said, no, only this bhaiya had come. She said, who did this? So like that guy in the movie, she got frightened. She said, it was all lying around. I just put it back in the box when I was cleaning the place. She had solved something that someone who was a teacher otherwise and a creative person was not able to do. You cannot presume that someone cannot do something. You will notice it only if you realize. Of course, she was able to do it because she didn't have the burden, the pressure of doing it. That makes a huge difference. And that is where in storming you don't have the burden of performing. And that is where the best ideas. The minute you start judging the idea, people will not give it. It should be just received as an idea. So if you are looking at people, I like to give this concept of gears. What are gears actually? Physically, what are they? Huh? Yeah, so what are they? But
Teeth wheels.
yeah, they have teeth. So they are like wheels with teeth, and they engage into each other. They move in opposite directions. They are of different sizes, but somebody told me in water pumps they are of the same size. So I'll say in most of the time. One of the things that kills diversity is to speak for everybody. What will you have? Idli. Why idli? I don't know idli. My mother used to make idli every fortnight, on a Sunday. Every other Sunday she would make idlis. And I hated idlis that time. I love them now. Today morning for breakfast I've had idli. I love them. But I used to hate them as a child. But she had a rule that you had to eat two. And if you didn't eat two, you get pasted and then you had to eat those two. Alright? Because she said if you're offered something, her rule was what? If you go to somebody's home and they give you idlis, you eat two idlis. You don't eat the third, but you have to eat. You have to learn to eat everything. Alright? And I thank her for that. Because wherever I go around the country, even in Sri Lanka, they have their versions of the idli. And I love them. But my brother loved idlis, so he would eat 10. Imagine if my mother had decided both should eat 6. Like you all decided, you will divide equally. Why? Because you didn't consider diversity. And that's very important. And sometimes why we do that? Like, somebody said anything. When I was in college, I studied architecture. And I used to do perspectives. And that time there were very few people doing perspectives. In the whole of Goa, there were 3 people. So we used to make a lot of money. So as a student, I made money. And because I had money, I would then, look after my needs first, and then I would go for my wants. And my want was, one of the wants was to eat at Hotel Mandovi. Okay? I had always gone for free and sat in their lobby there and drunk the chilled water, used their washrooms, read their newspapers for free. I'd never been to the restaurant because there they wouldn't allow me to sit like that. Here they would probably presume this guy might be some big man's son. So he would not say anything to me. Anytime you go wearing ordinary footwear, shorts, simple clothes, you go to a 5-star hotel, they'll presume you're rich. He doesn't care, he's coming with, he must be a rich person. They'll give you benefit of doubt. But you need to have that assertive body language also. But I took a friend along with me. I gave the menu and I took the menu. I said, order what you want. I had a lot of money. So then he said anything. He kept the menu down. Anything. So I told him 2 more times. Check in the menu. I told him I am ordering for a sizzler. For the first time in my life I was having a sizzler. I had never had before. I didn't know what it meant also. I thought I want sizzler. He kept repeating anything. I ordered Karela juice for him. I don't know. You told anything. Now if I invite you to a restaurant and I ask what you will have, what will you have? Tandoori chicken. What will you have? What will you have? What will you have? Okay. What in dessert? Be specific. I'll give you anything. Karela pudding I'll give you. Huh? Chicken sizzle. Fast. Karela sizzler. You will have a Karela sizzler. What would you like?
If that exists.
If you go to a restaurant and I am the waiter there, and I say, what will you have? What will you have?
What do you have?
A Chinese restaurant में यहाँ इडली डोसा नहीं मिलता. Exactly. That's what diversity is about. Are you open-minded? Like you go to a restaurant, even if you know it's a regular restaurant. You go to say Bosle's. You tell him tomat bhaji, sopli. Suki bhaji, sopli. What you will then do? Why don't you start with that? Why presume? Right? There was actually, this is a real story. The first one is not a real story. That it didn't happen in Mandovi, nothing like that. I had money, but we would go to cheap places and blow it up on 10-12 days. Mandovi it would get over in 1 day. I had a sizzler much later when I got a job. But anyway, the real story is there was a boy from our college who liked a girl. And we went to that girl's home. And the father asked, it was in the evening. He's saying, what will you have to drink? And this fellow said, beer. I said, water. My respect was enhanced. His love story was ended. Because they would not drink in that family. He heard the word drink. He presumed that it's about alcohol. Right? Let's check. Now what happens is what we think inside. The entire problem with us not acknowledging diversity is because of certain noise in our heads. But I cannot make noise in your head, but we could collectively make some noise and let's see how you respond to that. So collectively I want all of you to say a word that I will tell you 6 times loudly and then answer a very simple question immediately without taking time. without pretending that you didn't hear the question. It's a very simple question that a primary school student can answer. And I'm sure you have all gone to primary school. Alright? So 6 times loudly say the word silk. 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 What do cows drink?
Milk.
But this was a trial. Good, we didn't say risky. Right? What do cows drink? Water. But now you know, some people didn't participate. You are poor team members. You are happy I didn't give the wrong answer, but you didn't give the answer. Right? You saw when somebody was not getting the right answer, he was giving some clues. No, Atul was giving clues. But the idea is to participate. In a team, this is very important. If you want to grow up in a team, you should be able to reflect that your ability to participate and encourage participation. So now I want you to say the word 6 times loudly. Spot.
Spot.
Spot. Spot. Spot. Spot. Spot. At the traffic light, if you see green color, what should you do? Stop. Whoever said go, you can go ahead, but the rest, please give your licenses back. But now this is noise we are creating from the outside. There is noise that is created from the inside. I tell this without, I never hide this because this is a big learning for me. There were 3 people whom I met and I misinterpreted them. Based on the way they dress, the way they speak. 3 people. 3 is a big number. It should be nil. 3 people. I later realized they are not at all like what I imagined them to be. And it is my mistake that I couldn't judge them. I couldn't see them for what they are. I saw them based on the psychological noise in my head. And in today's world, with a lot of what you'd say social media messaging happening, there is more noise in the media. There's a media frenzy. And I would recommend very strongly that the biggest quality in diversity is empathy. And if you want to connect to empathy, you'll have to get off those machines. Simple things. If I don't understand a word, there is a word in English I don't understand. The word is lexicon. I don't know what it means. How can I know? I go to Google. No. Where should I go? And ask somebody, right? Anyone knows what lexicon means? Anyone knows? What does it mean? Lexicon? No? Nobody knows? Somebody may know. It means the dictionary. It's a collection of words with meanings. But when we speak about this, when you get it from somebody else, I recommend this very strongly to people in business. Get a set of mentors, advisors, invite them twice or thrice a year, make presentations before them and listen to their feedback. But invite people with an open mind. And generally people with an open mind are the ones who have proven it. And that's very important. So if I need to get, I'd been many years back, we had gone to Kolhapur. And that time McDonald's wasn't in Goa. So my friend with whom I'd gone, he stopped at McDonald's. And I'll tell you, I ate only the French fries from McDonald's. I don't like the... He had a great fancy. So So he ordered 2 burgers and he said, you eat all the french fries. So we went there and there was one man, he was wearing that Gandhi topi, the white long shirt, pajamas, white pajamas, Kolhapuri chappals, and he came walking in like this. So my friend told me, he was a businessman, okay, he told me, koi gati aayalo, McDonald khaupa. So I said, look at his car outside. We had gone in a Maruti 800, there was a Mercedes standing outside. So he said, "Chuk zali. Aaj gati." I said, no, it's a problem as a business person if you are going to gauge and then based on the gauging, gouge customers. Imagine if he has heard it. And that starts becoming very. And I'll end with this, a story. Sir, I don't know whether it reached you, but I'd done it for Sanofi. A story. I'd done a training program based on a story, a 2-day program based on one story. Because I was told of an incident that happened there. I'm not telling you about the incident, I'm telling you about the story. I'd gone to somebody's home for dinner. It was a birthday party. There were only 12 people there, including 3 hosts, husband, wife and daughter, and the rest of us, 9 of us. That's it. But in a Goan birthday party, when you go, they first give you brown cake. So you eat brown cake, then they give you something to drink. So you drink that, then they give you something to eat. And then they give you some more to drink, some more to eat. And after around 4 rounds, when I was nice and full, the lady came and said, dinner is served. So I said, dinner? So I went, I told her, a man sitting next to me was an elderly person, older to me by more than 25 years. I told him, my dinner is done. I'm not eating anything. So with all his wisdom, he told me, no. That lady will have taken trouble to cook the food. We can't hurt her. I'm older to you, I eat lesser, my stomach is full, but I'm going to go and take a spoonful of a few items. And you too should do that. I wondered why I told him. I could have quietly not eaten. But now I had to go. So I went there and there was the shock of a life that you get in a Goan home. They have made Goan food. They have ordered biryani. They have made some shole masala. They have brought, they have brought everything there. So many items. And I said, spoonful of each item will be too much. So I made a choice of what I will eat. 4 or 5 things that I would take a spoonful. After I made the choice, I said, let this man have the go. So I went and looked at him. He was also looking like this. He was looking like this and he said, Solkadina. That lady's blood started draining out. She turned pale. And whatever effort she had put in had come to naught. She ran away saying, Atta Atta. She ran to make Solkadi. I wondered, this fellow told me, if I don't eat, she'll be hurt. By saying this, what is the thing he has achieved? So, when I went, when we were reaching home, he happened to be my wife's relative. That host also was my wife's relative. So I told my wife, what relative? They call him Bhavaji. I said, what Bhavaji? Solkadi. So she laughed, because she was there when it happened. And she said, you could have said it. I said, I didn't say it. She said, you could have said it. I said, he said it. She said, you could have said it. And I got to realize what was it that she was saying. She was saying that I love Solkadi a lot. Whenever I get a chance, I ask. Right? So we ask in Goa in 2 ways, Solkadi asa or Solkadi na. Right? Yes, no? If we say yes also and no. But anyway, so in Konkani, Solkadi na, people ask, Jopana tho, Jutlo. 2 different ways, but they mean the same thing. So I told her, no, sorry. I have once said it in an angry tone. I'd come back after 15 days. And I said, Solkadi na? And she shouted back at me, said, if you want your limit, from tomorrow you go. I immediately apologized and made the Solkadi rather than going through the other remaining things. It has its consequences, anger. But I said yes. But I said many times I pleaded. I begged. Please beg. I go to people's home. I said if I had gone to that lady, I would go to her the side and ask, you got yesterday's, 2 days before, 1 week before Solkadi lady? She would say, no, I'll do it. Karta, naka, karta re, naka. Huh? Happy, right? But when I look it only from my point of view, it will be reflected in my tone. It's not the words. You can say, Solkadi na? Solkadi aisa? Na? Asa. But the tone. Solkadi na? Tone. And the tone is universal. People will listen to it. And what is that tone coming from? From a very individual person. With a self-centered opinion. With a self-centered approach. Exactly the opposite of diversity. You will ask, if I invite you to my home and ask you, what will you have? And you say, three scoops of ice cream with a little bit of cherries and some, like chocolate sauce. Yeah, that will be nice. I won't invite you again. Right? If you ask me what will you have, I'll say, what are you offering me? Right? That is diversity. It is the beginning of a conversation. It's not the end of a conversation. And let this also, what 3 of us have done, because Rotary Club Vasco Port Town has invited us, let it be the beginning of a conversation, not the end of it. So carry on with that conversation. We can interact even further later on. Over to the host. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Got a lot of contribution in designing, helping us in getting this Joy of Giving week, and we are very grateful for his contribution. Earlier we had programs even for the police, training for the police of Vasco police station by Praveen Sabnis, and I think 80 also stress management for teachers. So the association with Praveen has been for a long time, and a lot of mentorship has been done. So to introduce, basically Praveen Sabnis is an architect by profession, but he has his passion is training. So he is a leading corporate coach with a passion for helping people to connect with their potential. Since 1997, he has been conducting over 2,200 workshops across India on business management and HRD for leading corporate teachers, students, and a lot of other groups. He is a certified trainer of JCI USA. He has authored a lot of manuals. He has initiated a training program called Unlearning Unlimited, maybe a couple of 15 years ago around. I am a very 2003, and I am a very much a part of that group. Also, he is the founder of the Training Association of Goa. Very enthusiastic personality, very helpful, full of ideas, and a great friend to our club. Introducing you to all of you, Praveen Sabnis. Thank you very much for your great contribution to not only us, but I think there are a lot of other clubs. Like I stay in Porvorim, and the president of Porvorim has told me that Praveen has been helping them out so the club grows. So I don't know more than that. Maybe there will be much more. Thank you very much to all three, sir. Meeting you was a great. I traveled with you for last 45 minutes in the car, and we didn't know when we reached Vasco. Atul has been like our, I remember Atul in 1990 when I was in school, by the way. Time, and there was I and Piyush, I think, was there. We were in junior JCs, right? Piyush, we joined together. Now you don't expose me, Piyush.
He was in higher secondary.
You have to Piyush and Jojo D'Souza. We were together. We joined this junior JC when Savio Messias was the president here, and I remember. I still can't forget. There was one Elson Pimenta and there was a conference, and I think you had to imitate a past president, and he put some cushions in his. Inside the shirt, and he was imitating this Elston Pimenta. I still remember that's the first time we met Atul, and the great guy. So from then we have been attending a lot of training programs, and I am very happy this day has come, and we have brought these two trainers and the big mentor which we are introduced to, and we expect, sir, we have you for many more programs to come, and guide us in whatever way possible, and guide all. In fact, we have a lot of corporate people here. I would like to recognize the director of Sanofi, Mr. Praveen Kullar, sir. Thank you for gracing this occasion. You have been sitting on the last row, but he has come on an invitation, and very thankful to you to be a part of us. Yes, yeah, sure.
I think Dr. Praveen Kullar, we know to many people. Interesting aspect about the Rotary Club is that a lot of people have a lot of social activities, but having something linked to learning is something very unique. And if there is somebody who personifies learning, is somebody who's probably at the highest level. He's probably much higher than any one of us. He's not just a national figure. He now holds a stage at the international level, looking around for functions in Sanofi across the globe. I recollect a small incident. We were conducting a program at Goa University, a PG course in business management. It was a one-year program of the Goa University, and I had to invite somebody to inaugurate the new batch. And I incidentally rang up Dr. Praveen Kullar, sir. If you are free here, just come down.
That such a dignified personality and down to earth, and being with us is thank you very much for that, sir. Please, sir. Yeah.
Can I take 20 seconds? Thank you for inviting me on this program. I had many meetings in the morning in Panjim, and I finished at 11:20. And at that same time, certain session started, and I requested Manoj, can you connect, and I am on the way, and that is one part. I never like to miss anything which is important. At Juari, I was just thinking, go this side, go to my office. So the connection with the people, and Atul, you are the force magnet. My car turned to this side. I said, I have to be there to meet you personally. So this is one part. So thanks to be part of my professional life. Another, you were saying, how you see diversity and inclusiveness and judgment. I had an incident 1 week back. I was just standing, and I'm looking for some property and all those things, and in front of a building. And when I'm talking, that person with this kurta pajama looks like a labor. He's just next to the car, and he's just sitting and watching here. And then I asked him, "You are from here?" He said, "Yes." I said, "What are you looking?" I thought he's looking for a job. Look like a labor class and all. So when I sat into the car, the property dealer who was there, he asked that person, "How much this building cost?" He said, "Around 2.5 crores." He said, "I want to buy it, and I can pay within 1 week's time." Get my point? I was thinking he's a laborer and come for something like a security job or something, and asking, "Is this building require a person for assistance?" And then he's told that house is mine, that house is mine, I have a shop in Panjim, I have got something in a land in Vasco, all those places, and might have 10 times more money than the person who might be judging. Okay, so never judge by the what the person look like. A person looking very passionate, aggressive, might be very soft at heart. I think we need to go deep, and our internal noises sometimes restrict us not to go front, interact with the people. I think that each one of us is the divine powers within, with the soul and the God which has given to us. We must need to touch the right part and respect with the right part, and I think the life is going to be celebration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cyril sir, for being with us. World Trade Center has been in Goa, and doing a lot of work. And for the specifically, I am working with Mr. Cyril for the women entrepreneurship, where we are thinking of rural. We have a lot of products which rural women produce, and we are trying to get a quality, and we are trying to thinking of exports. And he's been doing a great job in that. Thank you very much for.
Yeah, but if you also permit me 10 seconds.